Shir sponsor Lui Nishmas I'm Yaakov Shalom now Basitzchok. We're holding in Bava Daf Yud Aleph, and we're starting the last line Daf Yud with base. So just to review what we learned, the Gemara brought 3 psukim in the end of Yud with base that teaches us that Bailim Metaplim Benevela. What does it mean Bailim Metaplim Benevela? It means if you have the mazik, you have the shor of Reuven pouring the shor of Shimon. The shor of Shimon used to be worth $200. Now the shor of Shimon is worth only $50. The nevela, the dead animal, is worth $50. So the Gemara learned that Reuven has to pay only $150, and $50 stays. The Shimon takes his nevela. Said the Gemara, what's the big chiddush? Of course, we learned, at least according to one shita, that you could pay even subi. I could pay tissue boxes if I want to. So of course I can pay with nevela. So I'll give you $150. Who cares if I look at it and give you $150 plus an nevela, or I'm giving you $200, which part of it is a nevela. I'm giving you a nevela. Second one, the nafkamina is pchas nevela. What's a pchas nevela? Meaning the animal died until he went to Beis Din, and until they sat down and they judged it. The pchas nevela, the nevela went down in value. It used to be worth 50, now it's worth only 40. So who's the one who loses the last 10? Is it the mazik or the nizak? If you say he's using it as payment, so once you go to Beis Din, he uses whatever is there. It's worth only $40. But if you say that the nizak always has the nevela, meaning once Reuven's shor kills Shimon's shor, Shimon takes the nevela right away. So even if it goes down in value, Shimon is not going to get more than $150.
He had use of that nevela right away.
He should take it right away.
He didn't have to wait for din.
Yeah, he could already take it. We mentioned, that's why we had in the daf, there's a big chakir in the achronim. How do we look at the nevela right now? Is the nevela now a form of payment? I'm paying with a nevela. Or the nevela is, I never took away the nevela. I took $150 from you. 50 always remained by you. So it's like I took 200 but I paid 50 right away. Or I didn't take 200, I took 150 to begin with, and there's still enough communis that we'll see in the later daf. So it says that the Gemara, this idea that the nizak is responsible for the depreciation of the nevela is a machlokes tanai. The Tanya, it says in the verse, so in Torah, if you taref, yaviyeyu eight. That's what it says in the pasuk. That's one of the psukim the Gemara brought in the previous daf. It says in the daf from top. Yavi eidim shenitrefo beoines upater. What's yavi eid? Eid loshan eidus. Bring eidim, the shomer who was guarding the animal. He says it died. Nitrefo. So they say how did it die? He says it was an oinus. Bring eidim for that. It was oinus. That's what Tanakama says. Abba sholoimer yavi idudo lebezi. Idudo means an nevela. Means the actual body of the animal. So what's the machlekes over here? Do you bring iduda or do you bring edim? The question is, can I use the nevela? The fact that I can pay with nevela, one understands, as Rashi points out, of course you can pay with nevela. So the first one, the Rambam says you can't, the pchas nevela, the lower value the nevela had, still the mazik has to pay for it. So what does it mean, bring edim? That just talks a simple understanding of the pasuk. But according to Abba Shaul, Yavid Beis means use this nevela the way it is as payment. Say, well, look, the kula alma the nizak. Everybody agrees that nizak is taking the nevela and he's responsible for the depreciation. Have a different discussion. At the end of the day, who needs to be busy with the nevela? Who needs to go and schlep it and bring it to the market? Who's the one who has to take care of the delivery? Is it the mazik or the nizak? This goes very well. This machlekes goes very well based on the chakir we mentioned before. Just to explain it, even though you could push it to both sides. If you hold the nevela as a form of payment, so the nizak tells the mazik, Shimon tells Reuven, you want to pay me, no problem. You can pay me, but where is the nevela? You want to pay me? Bring me the nevela. But if you say, I never hurt your nevela, the nevela was always yours, okay, so you take care of it. However it is, it's yours. So Gemara says, Torich nevela, who is responsible to be toireach, to work hard on the nevela. So the more about Tanya how do we know that we want to bring around? There's such a concept of toirach. How do we know the owner of the bar needs to bring the nevela from the bottom of the bar back to the top? He needs to return money and the mace. You have to give the mace back to the buyer. What's exactly the meaning of Torah Nevela? It's worth 1 zuz in the bar, worth 4 zuz outside of the bar. It's worth it for the guy to take the nevela from down there to up here because he's going to be worth more. So meaning that for the mazik, he needs to pay. If you have a nevela down there in the bar, he's paying only $10. He's taking it out, it's worth $40. He has to pay much less cash. He says, no, there's no difference in value. Down there, up here, it's just a headache to bring it up. No, is it such a thing as true? That you're in the bar and out of the bar is the same value? It's like more in. How many people say, a beam in the city is worth a zuz, outside the city is worth a zuz. Meaning the fact that you have also delivery doesn't, we don't pay for the delivery. That doesn't change the valuation of the kshayla. So what to say?
What about the cost of?
So you have to say maybe it doesn't cost. It's like it's a pretty easy thing. You don't have to. You can do it yourself.
That would be the shiloh. I mean, that would be some shiloh. It costs money. You got to pay.
So there's some value out.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds in the Gemara that there's some way how to get out of it without paying anybody because the Gemara says it's the same value. I don't know. I don't know how to have a good shot.
There's something about schlepping it this way, but schlepping it out of the board, that's a whole...
That's the going to be more of a headache. Right? Okay. I don't know.
No, I'm not asking what the monitor. I'm saying Lamaisa, who who has to pay for it.
The one who's a Torah, that's the Bechlekes. But the Gemara says, the mazik, that's his own interest. He wants to take care of it because it's worth more. It's worth the same.
No, but I feel got it.
So, Lechura, I would say, the push-up shot is that $10 that you're paying the worker to schlep it up, that's not part of the worth of the nevela.
That's the machlekes.
That's the machlekes.
The Torah
is the $10.
Okay.
But it doesn't change the value of the nevela. The nevela is always worth, whatever it's worth, $50. Now, I have another $10 to pay, that's a different discussion. Now you say, but why doesn't that go into the work?
No, what I'm saying is the Gemara is saying, but it depends if it's 4 versus 1 or if it's 1 versus 1. That's not the nafkamina. It's a practical nafkamina. The Gemara says. No,
that's the reason. We're just asking, how can you even say that Torah Nevela is in the Nizak? It's the mazik's interest to bring it up. The mazik wants it up because it's going to be worth more. So Gemara says, no, it's not going to be worth more. So it doesn't make a difference for the mazik. So you may have a machlekes who's take care of Torah Nevela.
Wait, so the end is machlokes who has to actually bring it up?
Yeah.
With a small...
He's the mazik. Okay, so the Omar Shmuel in Shami, you can sit down. Omar Shmuel in Shami, loy leganov veloy legazlon elan izokim. What does it mean loy leganov veloy legazlon izokim? The shuma that we're talking about over here is that when you take you don't do the cheshbon of the nevela for a ganav and a gaz. Meaning, if a ganav goes and steals an item, he needs to pay the full amount. You don't say, oh, you know what? You're sure die, take the nevela and they'll give you some money. No. By ganav and gaz, you have to pay the full amount. I don't give you that nevela. The only time I give you the nevela is when he's like we just said now. Ve'ani oimer, says Shmuel, I add to that, af l'shoyel. A shoyel is someone who borrows an item and he wants to give it back. So he needs to, if he gets damaged, he doesn't give back the broken item. He gives back the whole thing. Says the Gemara, the Abba moidili. Abba is moidili. Sorry, I was magging mucher, but I explained what he meant with shoyel. So I say also shoyel, and Abba agrees with me. Right, Rav, he calls Abba. Abba agrees with me. Bailu, hachikam. What does it mean? After shoyel shomi v'al moidili. Also shoyel, you do a shumo, meaning like in Ezekiel, and you give back the nevela as part of the payment. Or you give back v'ani oimer for the shoyel ain't shomi. I'm not giving back the payment. The Abba moidili. Okay, that's the question. So in other words, what's the shul? The shul is added to Ganav and Gazl, or the shul is added to the Ezekiel? So Atoshma, the Ugava, the shul, Nargo, Michavrei. So you add this person who is shoyel, and Nargo is X from his friend. Tavro, whatever, it's an item, and he broke it. Also come the Rav. Only Zil Sholim in Agam is to go pay the full amount. You don't have to give the broken item and pay the difference. Shvamino ain't Shomin. You see right, they don't Shomin. Hadu Rabbo, the Amru Lev Kana, Rav Asil Rav, Tina Ache Vishosik. They asked him, Rav Kana, he told Rav, really, that's the din? And he didn't answer. Shvamino Shomin, since sounds like he said it was a mistake. Now, here, it's important to understand, just this is a very big sugar in its own. But really, there's a big machlokes over here, how to understand the reasoning of this. Rashi learns, when you speak about Kanav and Gazon, Rashi says, Minig Dayonim. That's the minig. Meaning, that's how the Dayonim paskin. They don't have to do it that way, but that's the paskin. Many Rishonim learn that's not just a minig Dayonim, but it's bad, so that's something that you have, that's how you learn the Ilchus of Nizikin. Different Rishonim learn in different ways. So, the Al also have community to understand Shoya. It's a pshat show, that's the minig Dayonim. According to Rashi means it's just a minig. Or pshat is, that's the psukim of Shoya, you have to learn that way. So, but Idvar Ma'ulam Ablozo Shamin Lagana V'Lagazon. If you're Gana V'Gazon, you do a shumo, not like we said before. Rabbi Oma ain't Shamin. Hilchuso ain't Shamin Lagano, Lagazon, Aval Shoyel Shamin. You do for sure, you do a payment with a broken item, Kilav Kana. Kilav Kana V'Avas. Like Rav Avasi questioned Rav before that. Okay, so that was one thing we spoke about. We mentioned Ulo. And we mentioned Gana V'Gazon, we mentioned the Shuma, and that's the very much of their soup because we spoke about by us, can you pay within the veil? Now we mentioned Ula, so we're saying something else from Ula. There's always something that needs more Hezber, because we're going to speak something about Ula, but it has nothing to do with our sugya at all. And Ula, we find Ula all over Shah. It's not like he's some kind of a random Andamar. You never found this, you say bring you some of his Dvarim. Ula is all over the place. So you have to understand, because right now, basic understanding this next topic of Ula has nothing to do with before. Shilya shiyotza miktsasa. Shilya is the sack, right? Where the fetus is. Is yotza miktsasa. She went out of the womb in one day, b'yom rishon. Umiktsasa b'yom sheni. So the shaila is, when do you consider the baby born? Is the baby born in day 1 or day 2? You mine it from the first day. Why you mine lamin arishin? Because you chayshish, maybe the vlad was there. Rashi says, as we'll see in Rashi learns that you chayshish, the roiv of the vlad is there. Oh, right? So you're not sure. Came out a shilya, right? The sack of the fetus. I'm not sure the fetus was in there, or wasn't in there. So what do you say? Maybe it was in the first part. So maybe the baby was born the first day. So that's why I'm starting to count the yomim of tumah that the Isha has when she gives birth. When a woman gives birth, so if she has a ben zoch, she has a male baby, she has to have 7 days of Yemei Tumah. If she has a female baby, she has to have 14 days of Yemei Tumah. In this case, when to start the Yemei Tumah? A day early, because maybe the baby was already born. Says the Gemara, only roll in my diet. You want to be machmir. Chumra does kula. That comes to kula. The kamet tais lomer rishon. What does it mean? We also have another din. A woman who has a baby boy, she counts 7 days of Yemei Tumah, and then 33 days of Yemei Taira. She has a baby girl. She has 2 weeks of Yemei Tumah, and then 66 days of Yemei Taira. So when do you start Yemei Taira? Yemei Taira means any blood she'll see during these days, she will be tar. When starts Yemei Taira? If you start from the first day, Yemei Taira start earlier. Start from the second day, Yemei Taira start later. So you're going for the first day, you're going to Churma. You're choishish. Meaning you go to Churma. If you don't start counting the second day, and that's the Chiddush. That's the Chiddush. My Kamasha, what's a Chiddush? What are you going to tell me? There ain't mix a shilya below vlad. There's no such thing as when a shilya comes out, there's for sure some part of the fetus in that shilya. Says the Gemara, that's a Chiddush? Tanina, we already learned. Shilya shiotza miktsasa asur b'achila. Like by an animal. When an animal has a shilya coming out, you can eat what's left in the animal. When you have a baby inside the womb of an animal, and you shech the animal, you're allowed to eat it for the womb. That's cool. You're allowed to eat it cool. So here, when part of it came out and came back in, you say it was already born. Because maybe it came out already. Say so. Asur b'achilo siman vlad behisha vlad behema. You say the same thing. A vlad of a woman, a vlad of a behema works the same way. So the chura, you see over here that what? That we assume already that ain't shili below vlad. So when you must I would say, says the one that Vidav on base, the yesh says shili below vlad. There could be a shili without a vlad. If you would say the Mishnah, right? If you'd say the Bachila, where you bring the case of the Behemo, I would say maybe it could be a case that the Behemo did not come out. But maybe the whole animal came out and went back in, and then you will not know the difference. That's the way over there. By Isha, we don't have the Pshat, the Brahm says Rashi, because you see them in Tam in the second day. So you know there's no such thing as the Kula. So that's why by Isha I don't have the problem, but I want to learn from a Behemo, that's the issue by Behemo. Okay. Now, just 2 points over here. The Gabi makes a Shivul Vlad. Rashi learns what Shivul Vlad means. You have in every part of Shil, you have a Vlad. What's the Chash over here? Maybe Roiv Vlad was in the mix as it came out. Many Rishonim argue, we say we don't Chayshish the Roiv Vlad is there, has to do with a Sugya and the Gemara Nida. But we're Chayshish maybe the head of the Vlad was in that mixas. If the head comes out, it's said to be born. One Nekuda. The second Nekuda is a very long Sugya that we have over here in the Tosis. Tosis brings, Tosis says, the Chura, what's the problem? What the Gemara says? The Gemara says, I have an issue. Why? Because in let's say day 15, you want to say that this woman is Tahar. But maybe the baby was born 1 day later and he's stomach. Right? So Tosis says, 1 second. Maybe it's a baby boy. If it's a baby boy, so day 15, you're for sure Tahar. You're already Tahar from before. So it says Tosis is a 6 acre. Something if it's day 1 or day 2. And even if you tell me it's day 2, maybe it's a baby boy. So 6 acres should be okay. That's what he's asking.
Maybe it's a boy.
Maybe it's a boy, so it's already after 7 days. Even if it's a girl, maybe it was born day 1. So I have a 6 acre. So it says, yeah. But if you use that same 6 acre regarding day 40, when you get to the end of the Meitahara, your 6 acre will be the opposite. And whatever you assume now, you want to say this is maybe a boy and maybe a girl on the first day. And even if it's a boy, maybe a girl, even if it's the second day, it's a boy. But if you go that 6 acre to the end of the 40 days, you'll be machmer. Because if it's a girl, so it's already 31 days, and 6 acre, it goes the opposite. Says Tais is a rule. 6 acre, you have 2 things that are against each other. If I use the 6 acre in one place, it becomes the kula. And 6 acre in another place, you go to chumrah, I don't say 6 acre. That's the place over here. And this, obviously, you can just imagine that the Chorni make for this a whole matami. Ayin Sham. Yes, Shvaitzel, Shemshkop, and Rechule. Says the Gemara, another thing that Ula says. So Ula
It's all Ula Amar of Elazar. That's what makes sense.
Right, that's what's special. Special Ula Amar of Elazar. You're right. Right, and remember that's going to be, maybe these are the only cases that you have in Shas, Ula speaking in the name of Elazar. If you have a B'chor, that within 30 days he died. Now, the big Mechik is why she tells you, what does Nitraf mean? Did he die naturally? He became Treifa? Or Nitraf means literally Nitraf, he was killed. Or Treifa. Was he killed or not? Nafkamina is what happens if he died naturally. How do we look at it? But if you don't do Pidin Aben. So you have to be pointed. If within 30 days he died, why? Why is that so? Because you need to have that the baby will be 30 days old. And here that's where the Bechul's Vashta comes out. What happens if you know, because it died within 30 days. So Toys is bothered, maybe it wasn't a Ben Kayama. Or she may be a Pidin Ben. You assume it's a Ben Kayama if it died non-natural. That's what Toys will explain. So then that's what he says. He said, within 30 days, your potter, it's a cloud that a B'chor your potter if you didn't live 30 days. Regardless of how he died. To be paid him, to give 5 slim to the Kohen. No, you have to give the money to the Kohen. If you don't, you owe it to the Kuna.
I'm saying there's
no, for us,
I just thought you're taking them out to.
Yeah, it's really more than your chiyuv to pay the Kohen. Another if you pull the Be'im Agaso, you coin it. Mesira means that you pass along a piece of the Be'ima, either the saddle or the or the Ritzuah, or something else. Who the Omak Yatani looks at the other Tanya Tanya v'choy moimin zu b'zu b'mishicho, Shimon oimer zu b'zu b'agbo. So you have your machlekes al beim gasas niknes has to do with the one kedushin. We learned in kedushin. Is it mishicha? Is it mesira? Is it agbo? Very interesting. More than kedushin. More asks, how do you koine a elephant be'agbo? As a possible, either you put it into a kli or you make it jump, and then there's an interesting discussion: can an elephant jump? Does it work? Okay. Another one was achim shecholku mashal leim shomin, mashal bneim imriseim ein shomin. So brothers that divided the property, whatever's on them, it's part of the discussion. But whatever's on the kids, leave it alone. Why? Why whatever is in the kids is you leave it alone? Because it's, as the Trace points out, it's as if it's a Gemir's das, that we're not dealing with the kids. Let the kids go. Let's start embarrassing the kids, but taking out their clothes, start valuing what they have. Sometimes whatever they're wearing, you also don't sham. The oldest brother, the Bchor, sometimes you want him to dress properly because he needs to be the representative of the family. You don't want to come like a shluch. Not to be, he comes, he looks like a lawyer, he's wearing a nice suit, so that's why he wears clothing, but everybody's participating in it. It doesn't have to take from his own money to wear the nice clothing. Interesting. So here, Toysis points out, Toysis has a discussion, what about Big Day Shabbos of the kids? The kids, you don't want to take their clothes because it's embarrassing. You have to remove the clothes to wear. Big Day Shabbos they're not wearing. We should measure it. So Toysis says, Big Day Shabbos you do valid. Say the Achronim, what about Big Day Shabbos of Godol Achim? Do you say the Godol Achim always needs to look representable? So that's why it doesn't matter which clothes he has, only the clothes that he goes to do business with. On Shabbos, he should look like a shloch. When he goes to shul, he should look like a shloch. So that's a discussion of the Achronim. Do you say that or you say no? He always has to look very, 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 very mechubadik. I saw a beautiful word. Someone says, Pshat is in Mitzias Mitzrayim, it says that to go and put clothes, it says you take the klei zog of the kesef, and to put begodim on your children. So he says why? Because the Haftarcha of Avraham Avinu, so Yetzu B'Rechush Gadol, was on klei kesef, klei zog, not on the clothes. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, put on the clothes on your kids. On the kids, you don't sham. So whatever the kids are wearing, you're going to be potter. That's what he said to put on the kids. If a shomer is guarding, comes the owner and gives a shomer and says, I want you to guard. And he goes and gives it to somebody else, he's potter. Don't tell me a shomer chinam, what the shomer chinam doesn't get paid. Gives the shomer sachar, gets paid. So I elevate the shmira. So stays why I elevate the shmira? Not because he gets paid, because he's more dedicated. He's paid for it. So I make it a better shmira. And I feel shomer sachar, shemasla shomer chinam, even if shomer sachar, or shomer gets paid. Paid to shomer chinam does not get paid. The hashtag grui gar l'shmira, he made the shmira lower. Now he put. Why? Shari muscle ben das. But at the end of the day, the shomer has das. So you say, you want me to guard? I trust this guy. This guy knows what he's doing. I'm giving it to him. Yeah, he's not as dedicated as I was because you paid me, you didn't pay him. But still, you still want to go and give him and do the shmir.
What if something happens that was a chiyuv that the shomer suffer would be putter for, but the shomer chinam is chayiv, or the other way around? Shomer suffer is
So then you'll be chayiv. Then you'll be chayiv because the Bible tells the shomer suffer, I don't care that he's a shomer chinam. I paid you. The only time you can tell him is, I never allowed you. This is a pshia. You put it by somebody who's not trust. He said, don't worry, I'm paying you when everything goes wrong. But I'm giving it to Shomer that I trust. The shaila is, what's the opposite? Let's say the Shomer chinam. And he gave it to Shomer sachar. Shomer sachar is nigrev v'nevdo. If it gets stolen or lost, so he has to pay. Who does he pay to? Does he pay to the Shomer or he pays to the owner? So this brings what the Gemara in Bava says, it's not right for halal to make schayra be'paros shechavera. I gave you my product to Shomer, and now you're making business out of it. That was not part of the deal. So the Shomer has to pay the owner. That's what this brings over here. That's the Gemara there in Woman's here. No, the opposite. Shomer shemas Shomer chayov. If you pass from one Shomer to another, it's chayov. Shomer sacha shemas Shomer chinam the guri gwar l'shmoser. Not even Shomer sacha that went down to Shomer chinam made a lower shmir. And I feel Shomer chinam shemas Shomer sacha from Shomer. He went up to higher shmir chayov. He is chayov. Why? He says, I trust you if there's a shvur. I don't trust him for shvur. So, you're giving me a Shem Esachar. That Shem Esachar is going to come and tell me that it was Oinus. I don't trust him. I trust you. So it's not good enough. That's where your Pesheya be giving to somebody that I can deal with. Tosis brings there and Gemara would see it brings another svar. The svar is Ein Ritzaini Shep to Gedoini Biadach. It's my property. I don't want it to be with somebody else. I like you. I don't like the other guy. Tosis asks to me why the Gemara is naked this one and the other one, which is the communities between them. The Gemara there would see it says the for example, if there's some way I could do he trusts him b'shvua. Let's say he does trust him b'shvua. So that will be enough communities. But he's mayor over here. Why the Gemara is naked this one more than the other one? But anyway, the Gemara brings here the machlekes. We just brought it. Agabucha. Amar Ula, Amar Ablazer. Shomer 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 is something which is not allowed, which is okay. So I go to Ula. Comes Rov and says, I disagree. I hold Shomer Shomer is a problem.
What is it? Shomer give it to Shomer Chinan. He gives it to Shomer Chinan, and then it was Nignava. Does Ruvain have to go to Levi for payment? There's like Shavud Rav Nosson, so to speak.
You mean Shomer Sacha to Shomer Sacha?
Shomer Sacha to Shomer Sacha. Thank you. Does Reuven have to go to Levi and Shimon says Shavud Rav Nosson or whatever, or does Reuven say to Shimon, "I'm going after you"?
Right.
You go after Levi.
I think if I remember correctly, in the Gemara Mitzvah, that Reuven goes to Shimon. Even if you're old, you could do it. But I'm not running after the other guy. I give it to you. I'm dealing with you. That's the thing I think that comes out for the Gemara there in Perek HaMafkid. We'll stop over here. Pays the Shem continue tomorrow with the Oilam.
What do you do tomorrow?